UTAG, USAG, NUGS, and of course the National Labour Commission. How are things going to pan out? Well, let's start the conversation with Dr. Samuel Bert Bwedikusi, UTAG president. If you could unmute for us, Doc.
Yes, sorry about that. So good morning, and thanks for having me, my brother.
Right. We're starting with you, and the latest is that you've been directed to the National Labour Commission to Georgia with government. As leader of UTAG at UCC, have you cited this invitation to Georgia with government on the 7th?
Thank you very much, my brother. Let me say that, yes, yesterday we were in court, and by extension, for me, what I say is by extension, it's CEO, that you have to go and do the job you have to do. You have been paid to do. You have been paid to be an arbiter, an impartial judge. You cannot just jump to the fact that go and do the job you have been paid to do. And so I think that it's an opportunity. The learned judge in his wisdom has given us an opportunity to sit and judge. Yes, you spoke about the invitation. I cited it in the social media opportunity because all of us were in court yesterday. And when the learned judge gave that directive, one would have thought that immediately after that, we would have said, oh, guys, come together, let's see how best, when are we meeting and all that. But only for us to see that in the social media. And I felt that that was also a missed opportunity because it's a simple, touch at the, on the shoulder to say, look, we have come this far, let's sit down and do what we need to do. Helps in resolving matters. So yes, we have cited it.
Going to comply with the directive come February the 7th. Are we going to see your representatives there at the National Labour Commission to bring some finality to this?
Yes, my brother. You see, we are of the view that we can, whatever form of litigation, litigation must come to an end at some point, and we cannot go on like that, the other side, and not go in the hardliner kind of approach that we have seen some of the communicators try to do. And so I know that the National Executive Committee will be having a meeting today to discuss both what the learned judge has said, as well as the invitation from the
NUGS president joining the conversation, Mr. Boakye-Yadom, Emmanuel Boakye-Yadom. Thank you, Emmanuel, for joining the conversation.
You're welcome, sir.
Right. We've heard from you on a few occasions with what has happened so far. And what are your expectations as now the court has told both parties, government on one end, UTAG on the other, to find a solution to this problem?
Good morning to you, and then good morning to your viewers, especially when we wake up to hear our lecturers are back to the lecture rooms for teaching and learning to continue. So however way that they do it, that is with the Labour Commission, I think we as the union will be happy and will be pleased. We are not interested in who wins the case in court. Peace has prevailed, and then our lecturers are returning to the lecture rooms. So we are hoping that by the end of the week that the court has given, our lecturers they return back to their classrooms.
Now, that is your expectation, but no one can guarantee that come the 7th, there's going to be a resolution. Mind you, there have been meetings in the past between the employer and UTAG giving this decision that the two parties ought to Georgia to find a solution. So come the 7th, if you don't get that solution, if there's no resolution, what are you going to do about this? How do you feel about that?
Okay, as we speak now, compromise, because we feel this is the time for our lecturers and the government representatives to come to a compromise, to make a lasting one, that there will be no sort of recurring strikes in the near future. But maybe nothing fruitful coming from the meetings, I think we would have no other option than to officially petition the President of the Republic, which I believe is the next in line that we think of doing. but lectures together with government representatives, that is the Ministry of Education, Labor and Employment, Finance, would definitely get to the negotiations table and make peace. Because going to the negotiations with an entrenched position, just as it has been over the few months, and be some sort of trust representatives, and then government representatives on the other hand to do not trust the words of UTAG. Yes, so we are calling for that mutual trust among the two parties for a peaceful resolution.
Let me bring in now the national coordinating. We've been interacting with the NUG's president, and he has shared his opinion on this entire development. Are you hopeful that now that the court has said government and the employer, government being the employer and UTAG should find a resolution, are you hopeful that come Monday that resolution will be found?
Good morning to all our viewers and everybody joining on today's show. And what we have been crying for from the initial start of this is for the lecturers to go back to the classrooms. And why do I even say this? We all admit that students have paid exorbitant fees. They've paid university students and you are reasonable enough. And probably you share in your plight that you feel the lecturers have been unfair, the government have been unfair to lecturers. Then you share in the same vein the plight of grievances. Why am I saying this? Even if the lecturers are not satisfied and they return back to the classrooms, they would want to teach our university students, well, it will fluctuate, it would reduce. And I'm happy that the court itself has given a decision that NLC should meet UTAG and resolve the matter. Why do we even resolve a fight between two bodies? Send only one body or one fraternity to the court. So I believe the court decision for NLC to meet UTAG and resolve the matter is highly accepted. Saying or nobody is pushing an agenda as though somebody wants to dent the current reputation of the government. No, nobody is fighting for that agenda. But it was a high caution to government that should we wait? You see, the big universities are being closed down, then we make a decision. No, we believe that we've gone past such analysis or such interventions. If there is anything to be done, it should be done now so that management will take it into consideration of not closing down the universities. Should we wait till the universities close down, then we send a petition to the president? I'm asking if there is a petition that needs to be sent to the republic, that's the president who is the father of the nation. It should be sent now. Why should we wait to the later end that probably universities are at the verge of closing down? Then we send.
Right. So just to clarify, you feel, Mr. Abua, you feel, just very briefly on this, you feel it was wrong for the NLC to take UTAG to court to enforce this bit about their returning to work? You feel it was wrong? Was it the NLC being biased?
NLC is an independent mediator. As I speak, if two bodies have an issue, let's go back to the constitutional mandate of the NLC. The National Labour Commission is to resolve the matter between the employee and the employer. So why only take the...
Well, you just heard the coordinating officer with USAG, and he says you're being biased, that you took UTAG to court and it appears that you are leaning towards one end against UTAG, and even the students are not happy about that. How do you react?
Did you say he was a coordinator for UTAG?
Yes, USAG, the University Students Association of Ghana.
And he hasn't read the labor law. How is he a union?
Please go back to what you were saying
How
before.
can a coordinator of a union, big union like UTAG, hasn't read the labor act? He hasn't read the labor law. When the commission has heard the case, did he say here, we have heard the case, and we have given a directive that do this, and you have failed to do, when not complied with, are enforced in the court. We can come to Joy FM and enforce it. That is what the law provides. So if you say that going to court was wrong, okay, he should give us the forum for which it should be enforced. Is he on the line?
He is on the line. He is.
Yes.
He has responded to the NLC executive secretary. He says, "How would you have suggested they deal with the situation?"
My stance is that if you are a referee in a matter and all the plight of university students speaks out that if there is a way that the NLC is that, then why did the judge instructed NLC to meet UTAG outside the court and resolve their matter and return back on term? That is my big question. Why is it that the matter was contempt? If you could answer that, that's fine. Because I believe in the school of thought that the law court in their own jurisdiction,
Right.
if they have standards, but why didn't they give or grant the demands of NLC, but rather told NLC to go back with UTAG and resolve the matter and come back on?
Deliver the point.
Right.
We are an institution established by an Act of Parliament 651, for that matter, the laws of Ghana, to deal with cases and decisions. And we expect compliance. And the law says that if they are not complied with, we have to go to the High Court and enforce it. In the same way, if you feel that the High Court and set it aside, if you see there are procedural errors. So the courts are available to enforce and for them to also challenge our decisions. So we gave a directive that and report to us on the 16th of February. However, during the period of engagement, call off the strike. Well, that is what
call off the strike before they negotiate. I've heard from UTAG members say that. I mean, telling them to call off the strike while they negotiate when they've had a series of negotiations, they're still striking.
Yes, and what did the court say different? The court said the same thing. Go back and engage. And within the period of engagement, take steps to withdraw the strike. Engagement is between UTAG and the government side, led by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. We, the National Labour Commission, are only regulating the law. And the law says that when you are negotiating, don't wear red armbands, don't threaten the other party, don't go on the strike. And the other party too cannot lock the other party out. And this is what we are making sure during the negotiation period. You understand? This is what we are seeking to do. And when we went to court, what did the court say? Go and engage. The engagement is not the NLC. That's them. Which of their demands is directed at NLC?
Mr.
Is it the market premium? Is it the book and research allowance? Is it their youth government? Who is their employer?
But you are the arbiter. You
them to resolve the issue.
Right.
And that is what the court said. The court did not say anything different from what the Labour Commission had directed.
You comes to the other aspects of the claims that they are making, but the lecturers aren't back at posts. How do you react to that?
Directed back at what? Compliance with the court for the engagement to begin. All the parties are coming. That is it.
No, but I'm posing the question in respect of what you spoke about. While they are negotiating,
that is what the court told them. Well, the court has said it. We said it. They defied it. This time the court has said it. If they defy it and we go back to court, we have appealed to the court for the court to enforce our decision. The court has given the directive, go and engage, as earlier said by the commission. Within the court, what is our case in court? Our case in court is call of the strike. So if they call of the strike, then our plea is that our case is moot already. But if they call of the strike, this is what the court has said. We have taken steps, then it is theirs to call of the strike. If they do, all the best. If they don't, well, it's for the court. Thursday is not far. So we have done our part, and we'll continue to do our part. And you and I. So
Dr. Bert, Mr. Abua, and others, just hold for me while I. But Mr. Asamoah, so when you look at the dynamics currently, I mean, we could have avoided this. We find ourselves where we are. But why go to court? We've been saying in August last year, you embarked on the same action, and the court told you to go out and settle your grievances. Here we are again, and you've taken UTAG back to court. And the resolution is the same.
Okay.
What exactly is not true?
They have refused. So we sought the assistance of the court, as we are enjoined by law to do. And the court has said the same. Go and
approach last August, and was the result not the same? Is that what you're
when
saying
we,
is untrue?
No. You see, last August and now when we went to court, you see the issues. It's not they don't have only one problem. The issues are not like we are sending the same thing to court over and over and over again. And even I don't know on the what is pending now that they talk giving to them on the 6th. Well, that is what in their letter for which they threatened to go on strike on the 10th was that if they don't get the labor market report, survey report, and it was given to them on the.
I don't know whether you get the point I am making. I'm not saying the same issue. I am saying that there was a similar issue you took to court, and in August last year, you were also told to go out and resolve the matter so that government, the employer, and UTAG would resolve it. That's why I'm just.
Was to call off the strike. We got to court to make sure they call off the strike. And because we thought that there was a need for further engagement, and they called off the strike. So it's not like the same result, the same thing. No. They are different issues.
Tell me, on the 7th, you are standing in the middle. Resolution to this impasse once and for all.
I am very hopeful. I'm very hopeful. You see, we are very hopeful because that is why.
Where is this hope coming from?
It is coming from different from what we have said already. There is room for engagement. Go and engage within the period. Call off the strike. They refuse to call off the strike. Have you read? Look at our claim. Look at our the endorsement. Look at our motion and the supporting affidavit. It's the same. There is room for engagement within the period of engagement. Call off the strike. You refuse to call off the strike. We go to court to enforce what we have said. The court looks at it and say, go and engage within the period. Call off the strike.
Mr. Asamoah, so UTAG is not calling off its strike. If on the 7th, between the 7th and the 10th, if you've still not been able to resolve the matter, if UTAG remains on strike, what is going to be your next?
Expecting parties to comply. UTAG failed to comply. The only thing left for the commission is to enforce its judgment. And by law, its judgment can only be enforced or to determine. The court says, I am giving you 1 week. Do A, B, C, and D. After that, report to us. So if we, at the end of the day, UTAG, NLC, all of us go to court and we present to the court that this is what we have done. And the court is the executive secretary or the commission to say, it's now in the bosom of the court. So what happens between now and 10th is between us.
Between now and then, the 21-day window when the schools may shut down would be affected.
Or anywhere in the university statute saying that the university should be closed after 21 days if lectures are not teaching. There is no law.
21 days, the schools shut down.
Hello?
Yes.
Who said so?
Well, it's been put out by UTAG itself.
So, what are they saying? That is it part of their collective bargaining agreement or their own laws?
Hold for me, Mr. Asamoah. Hold for me, Mr. Asamoah. Let me bring in someone who can give an appropriate answer. Some clarity to this 21-day situation.
You see, I think that when we are not seized with the facts, we shouldn't make an emphatic statement. Yes, nobody is advocating for a closure of any of the universities. But you see, in some of our universities, it is found in hours of academic work for 21 days to call for a closure of the universities. That is not what anybody is advocating for. But when I hear people say that it is not found in any statutes, it is not true. At least I know that in the University of Cape Coast 2016 statutes, it is written there black and white as the last function of the academic board.
I just want to know the section so we can all read.
Dr. Bird, he is asking for the statute in question. Which specific statute?
So that we can all read and understand.
I can refer, but even my journal online has published that. It's there. It's my journal has published. I think I have to get the exact statute. I think it's statute 5, the function of academic board, which is I think an L. The L's function of he may not know, but it is there. But that is not my fault because. That is why I have given you the reference.
And benefit for me.
That is why I have given you the reference.
And after
it's online. The University of Cape Coast Statutes 2016 is online.
Right. So, Mr. Asamoah, clarified for you?
Yeah, no, what I want to ask is, you don't create a situation. Assuming it's there, I don't even believe it because I've not seen it. classroom when you have been directed to do so by a legally mandated body, and then you turn around and say that because I stayed out 21 days, the academic thing has been disrupted, so close the university. At the time
I have not said that, and I thought I wanted to set the record straight. I thought in my there's no
I'm
law.
not talking about you, but that is what everybody is saying. 21 days, close the university. As if it's automatic that it should be closed down when problems can be solved, especially when we are at the edge of solving it.
But you knew that the problem could be solved. I didn't take all the anyway.
Just for maybe a short while. Dr. Bert Wedikusi, you know your issues better than I do, and of course we're talking about them. You've listened to Fosu Asamoah, the Executive Secretary of the NLC. You've listened to some of the student unions, and for Mr. Fosu Asamoah, any concerns in terms of how the NLC has related to you up to this point? You could do that.
Thank you very much. Let me say that. One, and I'm happy that I am on this platform with Mr. Fosu Asamoah himself, that Mr. Fosu Asamoah's utterances, his personal utterances, I'm not faulting the commission, but his personal utterances in the media has not helped matters. The academic community takes serious exception to some of the comments he has made about this whole strike, and especially going on the tangent of if they don't. You see, you are supposed to be the spokesperson of the commission. The commissioners are not talking. And you are just as the student leader, intimated, and the judge, the venerable judge has indicated. Granted that the lecturers are completely wrong. Granted, let's put it that way, that we disagree. I feel that the NLC at least could have even gone an extra mile to say that, look, you guys, we invited you, you came, you have not gone back. What are the issues? But you see, when we constantly want to rush to the courts and try to behave as if that we own the and you see, once you begin to go that hard line, everybody takes an entrenched position, because the lecturers are saying that when there's no offer on the table, they are not coming, they are not calling up the strike. Why? There is a reason. Because in August, when we signed the MOA to return to the negotiation table, the agreements were clear. We are going to negotiate on basic salary, market premium, research, and any other thing. We went back and the employer said, look, looking at the circumstance, at that point, people felt that we had been betrayed. In fact, on my campus, UCC, the general membership voted that at that time, we should not call up the strike. But when we did the total tally from all the campuses, the majority said, call up the strike. So when the strike was called off on my campus, some of us, we had a very strong backlash, because people felt that we did not heed to their call and we have history. It's just like the analogy I was thinking about, that you put your child at a height and you tell the child that jump, I'm going to catch you. And then the child jumps and you don't catch the child falls and breaks the leg. You think that the next time when you take the child to that height and you ask the child to jump, the child will jump again. The child will say, Daddy, I'm not jumping. So that is the challenge we are faced with. And when you are faced with such a challenge, I believe that we don't need to resolve this through litigation. I have strong conviction that the frontline ministers, Minister of Education, Minister of Employment, Deputy Minister of Finance, or his boss, or her boss, and the Deputy Employment, these are very fine gentlemen that I believe that if we decide to be unacknowledged, that the demand you are putting on the table, yes, we know that your salaries are dwindling, but let's go this way. We may not be able to get everything for you. Let's do it this way, put a timetable to it, a roadmap. It's about talking.
Right.
And so I want to believe that if we are very honest and transparent with our entrenched position, yes, UTAG may have taken an entrenched position based on precedent, but I want to believe that we can come out of this. And I also want to urge the government side or the employer side not also to take an entrenched position and say that we can't do anything for you. Let's come together. Those saying that your salaries will be withdrawn, I'm saying that they will be walking a very slippery road. If you say you are going to withdraw salaries and all that, I said slippery road. If you want to go into it, and how the university works, whose salary are you going to withhold? Because the heads of departments, the duty bearers, they are working. Research fellows are at post, they are working. Academic counselors are here, they are working. So how are you going to do the segregation, even in terms of withholding salaries? That is a slippery road. Let's not begin to threaten people with that. I want to believe that if we bring our minds together as people of the academic community, people.
Dr. Wedikusi, you've had ample time to, expatiate on the matters. Fosu Asamoah, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still with you.
Great. So quite a few issues. One, your hardball position is not helping. Your litigating in court is not helping. And Dr. Bert Bwedikusi is also suggesting that you could have used other alternatives to arrive at the same end rather than say we're going to litigate. He's calling on the education minister and others to step in. What is your take?
Yes, I want to thank him very much. But one thing I will let you know is that I'm the executive secretary of the commission. I am not the commission. I don't take the decision, but I enforce them. I cannot get up and go to court without the blessing of the commission. That is one thing you know. Because when you look at my letters I sign on behalf of the commission, I swear to affidavit of facts of the things that happen at the commission. So I don't think I should be blamed for going to court.
So are you saying it was not your decision? Just to clarify, it was not your decision to go to court.
And I cannot. And where we have to enforce the decisions, we have no option. That is what the law says. When there's no compliance, go to court.
And when now you have an option. The court has given you an option.
Why are we afraid of the court? You lashing me for going to court?
And I'm saying that, you see, the learned judge has said that we could have gone the extra mile. And that is simply the point I am making.
After you have refused the directive. And look,
there is a reason.
Have you been reading the Facebook comments and the things, including yesterday, what your secretary has been putting out there, Professor Jampo, to say? He says you will not comply today or tomorrow, even if all of you have to go to prison and they say, please. So what do we do?
Yeah. So, Mr. Fosuasema, you see,
and you see, he's a professor.
Speaks,
he's the secretary of the University of Ghana, one of the biggest.
Our legal representative made it clear what our official position is. So I would want to please see, now I'm speaking as a union leader. At the same time, I'm speaking as somebody who is interested in having a resolution because I'm a Ghanaian and because we do not even want people to suggest that we are taking government to ransom and we are, no, it is not a political game. I am saying that let us not look at one comment from, somebody.
But especially when you put it out there that I have been giving a car, I have been doing it, that's why I'm doing that. At the Joy FM where we are sitting, don't they give their staff cars to perform work? I said, don't you tag, I saw your president, you brought your car. So if I'm going to court, should I be walking or sitting? Is it an issue in what you want? You put it on Facebook, everybody is reading, the executive secretary has been giving a car, he goes to court because the judge sitting there is an Article 71 worker staff, his pay has increased by 70%, that's why I'm taking it there. You see, when you do that, it's not fair. All of us will want to sit and look at it. But when you take issues out of content, what is wrong with me driving a car? After all, didn't I own a car before being appointed? Is it an issue? Is it part of the demands of the UTAG? Which car I am driving? You see, so very sorry it has got to that level. But sometimes, let us look at this thing. And when it comes like that, this is a secretary of no less a branch, less than 15 minutes. Go and look at what was put out there. If you put on the Facebook and you don't know whether I'm a boy or a man, and all this thing, what does it mean? I am a lawyer. I could have also been lecturing in the university. Or because I find myself at the Labour Commission, all of a sudden I've become some riffraff. So, Doc, please, let's settle the issues. We know you have issues. That is why we are saying it is only in this country that when you drive a car, as if it is something. And this car is an official car for my duty. I couldn't have been working from my house to what we call the court, or to our branches, our offices in Kumasi and Takrady. It's to serve you, to serve the people of Ghana.
Dr. Bwedikusi, what can the NLC expect of you come Monday? You have the executive secretary here. I want you to reiterate what they can expect of you.
There is a scheduled National Executive Committee meeting later today, and I want to believe that NEC with the legal counsel will take a good decision because everybody is interested in resolution of the matter. One thing that I know when we appeared before the commissioners, Mr. Fosuasema was present, would listen. But one thing that I want all of us, which if we really want to get out of this, as I have intimated earlier, is that at least let us acknowledge. And I remember at the last sitting, the commissioners acknowledged that there were issues to be dealt with. And the employer side should also acknowledge that, yes, you have issues. Let's propose ways out. We want to deal with it in A, B, C, D way, which is more acceptable to everybody. I mean, to have this lack of trust. And let me say that the trust is not just with the employer side or the government side. The trust is even between we, the leaders, and sometimes even our members. Sometimes our members feel that if care is not taken, somebody may give them up, may give them out. So it's a much more complicated matter. And so when we are dealing with these issues, we expect that, as I have stated, we will be transparent, we will be objective, we know the difficulties that are there, but at least let us acknowledge and then talk to the lecturers that this is what we, A, B, C, D is what we can do, A, B, C, D, or X, Y, Z is what we cannot do, given the space. If we move away from the entrenched and hardline talk, we should be able to get this done.
Okay. Mr. Fosu Asamoah, your final words. I mean, what can UTAG also expect from you on Monday?
Yes, my final word, I want to urge my senior brother, very good friend, and fellow Ghanaians to approach the commission with their ink and be ready to negotiate in good faith for us to all have this matter settled as quickly as practicable, so that they will get what they want, and then everybody lives in peace in Ghana. In fact, we are suffering. Our children are in the university doing nothing, and I hope that it doesn't happen again, and pray that we all approach Monday with a good heart and have the matter resolved. Sorry for anything that might hurt them.
We're so grateful, Mr. Fosu Asamoah, that you joined the conversation, and we wish you the very best ahead of Monday. Mr. Fosu Asamoah, Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission. Do we still have Mr. Aboah on the line? All right, Mr. Aboah, your concluding comments in just some 40 seconds for us.
Yeah, please, I'm on the line.
Right, please go ahead. Your summary comments, maybe some 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm very glad that the Executive Secretary is doing a great job out there, especially with the conversation he just ended up with, them being optimistic that on Monday there will be a resolution. That is all what we all yearn for. We all yearn to see if the student continue not to go to class, it will be a big effect. There will be a huge deficit on the academic calendar. So I would say a very big thank you to all student leaders that are pushing for UTAG and government to have a better long-term resolution so that it doesn't always affect the students. We could see that it's always the students that suffers when such strikes are being on.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Aboah. Emmanuel Bachi Adam, if you're there, just to be fair, let me give you 30 seconds as well. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I'm here.
Right.
Yeah, I think the issues that the leadership of NUCS have always been laying before Ghanaians have been made a bit clear here. The issue of trust made clear here. But there's one thing that I'm very happy of. When the UTAG rep on the show, Dr. Beth was complaining about utterances from the NLC. I think NLC Executive Secretary, on the other hand, was also complaining about certain utterances from certain quarters of UTAG. Now, I believe these are things that are one way or the other drawing their negotiations backwards. Yes. So as we move forward, I as an individual, they put out or they put across, because it is rather distorting and disturbing the whole negotiation processes. And then on our last, but we would also
we have to wrap it here. We have to wrap it here.
We also would want to plead with both parties that as they re-enter into negotiations, they should go with open minds, with the Ghanaian student in mind, and with the position that they are going to make peace a lasting one, and nothing more, nothing less.
Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Fosu Asamoah, Dr. Bert Wedikusi, Mr. Aboah, and all of you for joining the conversation. Before I wrap, of course, if you love my elegant outfit, is by Catherine Gordon of Catherine Garments. You can locate them in Medina New Road near the Rolling Circle. On Instagram, Catherine_Garments. On Facebook, Catherine Garments GH. The number 0277 5800 50. 0277 580 050. Well, this is how we say goodbye to you. It's been an interesting week, and hopefully on Monday we'll find out what happens on this UTAG situation. My name is Benjamin Akako. Thank you for staying on the AM show. We have news at 10 and at noon. Do stay.